and welcome to National Focus. I'm Kimani Serja. Coming up, government makes progress in its efforts to create access to Petite Savanne. Plans ongoing for the permanent relocation of victims of Tropical Storm Erika, and river dredging operation ongoing in the Checkhall Valley. Details of our headline stories and more after this. Thanks for staying with us. Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says efforts are being made to restore access to Petite Savanne. The community was hardest hit by Tropical Storm Erika on August 27th. Hundreds of homes were destroyed or severely compromised, and most of the residents were evacuated.
That is in an effort to see how we can facilitate a number of residents who have their properties, the movable properties there, and they would like to get them out, how we can facilitate them in getting that. So we are moving on, trying to get access into Petite Savanne. Once that is done, we will work with the residents in a coordinated, organized fashion to get them to have access to some of the movable belongings and property.
The Dominica leader assured the victims of Tropical Storm Erika, now housed at shelters, that efforts are being made to seek more comfortable accommodations.
At grammar school, we are in discussions with some private property owners, some guest houses, who all have indicated their willingness to help accommodate those residents, albeit at a cost. And the state will cover the cost associated with housing and both boarding and lodging at those guest houses. We're hoping that we can finalize the cost with two of the properties. One has been finalized in terms of what the person is demanding and what the government has agreed to pay, and the two others, they will send us a proposal today, hopefully by the end of the working day, so that Cabinet will be in a position tomorrow to ratify the approval of the Minister of Finance in respect to that. And we will be discussing with the community, with the residents, 94 of them, and to see how we're going to go about assigning them to different properties, taking a number of variables into consideration, not wanting to split the families and so forth. But we feel the new accommodation, albeit for a temporary basis, would cause them to be much more comfortable than where they are now in the grammar school, and also create more privacy for all of them. The same approach is being looked at in respect to the residents of Jubic, and also some families from Petite Savanne who stayed back in Grand Bay. So we're looking at that also in respect to the relocation.
Meantime, discussions are ongoing on the permanent relocation of the evacuees.
We are looking at several sites. The variables are being looked at. We have the planning department involved, so that we have everybody involved at stage one in order to fast track the process. The necessary surveys are being done for those areas, the topo in some cases, so that the Cabinet can be advised on the most suitable location, taking all of the matters into consideration for the relocation of the several residents. We suspect that in the next few days we'll be in a position to have an idea. We know the locations, but to determine which ones that the Ministry of Housing, is working on this diligently towards advising the Cabinet.
GIS News spoke with Chairman of the Shelter Committee of the National Emergency Planning Organization, John Fontaine, on Tuesday about the operations of the center.
The biggest one is at the grammar school, where we house 102 persons from Petite Savanne. The second largest is in Grand Bay Community Center, where we have 83 persons. The people are doing generally okay. They are very dynamic at the shelters. Anywhere you have a group of 2, 3, the dynamism that takes place. Different people have different thinking, different background, and so on. But that being said, generally people are okay. We also have persons sheltering at the Monrachet resource center. That's 10 of them. In Coliho we have 20 persons, but they are sheltered with families. They're staying with families. We have the Roseau Youth Center where we have 25 persons. They are also from Petite Savanne. They were also at the grammar school and they moved because with the idea to resume school, we're trying to make space at the school, grammar school. We also have 34 persons at the Grand Bay Youth Center. Again, they are residents of Petite Savanne. The 83 that we have at the Grand Bay Community Center, they are from Jubic. You know, Jubic itself was evacuated from some type of level. They were evacuated. So the majority of them are at the Grand Bay Community Center. And we have we have 5 persons at the Canefield Council Office. In the Mount Carmel area as well, we have 23 persons. They too are from Petite Savanne, and they were at the shelter in town, and some of them were with family. But most of them at the Mount Carmel, they are elderly persons, persons who need special care.
In other news, river dredging work is ongoing in the Checkhall Valley. Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Mahu constituency, Rayburn Blackmore, told GIS News on Tuesday that the ongoing works played a major part in the further protection of property during the inclement weather conditions on Tuesday.
During the passage of Erika, Checkhall Valley, the people here suffered tremendous devastation. And really I want to commend them because they have demonstrated that they can do things for themselves. We have been able 2 weeks thereafter to at least establish access insofar as vehicular traffic access is concerned, so that people can start to see some semblance of normalcy. People's homes have been devastated, and in a number of instances the vehicles have been trapped and damaged and destroyed. But I want to really commend the mission operators for doing an exceptional job, because if you were here at least 2 weeks before, you would have seen the magnitude of the devastation that I'm talking about. And that story is similar in other parts of the country. So it's going to take a monumental effort to actually reconstruct and Checkhall Valley and other parts of the country. I was very much concerned about the heavy rain early this morning, and we're happy that by virtue of what we have done thus far, and up to last night, the mission operator was still there trying to manage the river. And if you traverse higher up, you see what I'm talking about. So well and truly, we have been able to manage the river, and as a result, there was no real damage or further damage caused as a result of the rain last night. But well and truly, we as a people, as I've said before, and I want to reiterate, have been able in the past to demonstrate that we have the resolve to fight back and to build this country. And throughout the country, you would have seen a number of instances where our roadways, our bridges, etc., homes have been devastated. So we as a people must come together, and we cannot sidetrack from the bottom line. It is nice in a democracy to have variegated views, but what really matters now is to reconstruct this country. And as you heard from our leader, it's going to take a real big effort in terms of mobilizing financial resources, mobilizing technical resources to get this country back, and even better than how it used to be.
Officials of the Office of Disaster Management continue to appeal to the public, especially those in the special disaster areas, to remain vigilant. Program Officer Steve Joseph explained to GIS News on Tuesday that with the high saturation levels of the soil following Tropical Storm Erika and subsequent tropical waves, nationals should remain vigilant.
We continue to inform the public on the risk that exists, especially in communities already compromised, the 9 special disaster areas, as well as some of the other critical areas that have already been impacted. We're hoping that people remain tuned to the radio stations and any source of information so that events that may threaten us at evenings and nights do not catch them in areas already compromised, or in some communities like Kulibistri. I went to Kulibistri over the weekend, and what you see is silt have actually filled not only the riverbed but parts of the community. So in people's homes and people's yards, there's a large amount of silt, and it means the community could easily be flooded again. And we have a shelter at Monroe Chesson, so we encourage people, once you don't feel safe or you get a warning such as this, or watch, which is what we were under last night, that you move to a safe location. You move to a shelter, or if you prefer to be at family homes, once these homes are in a safer location, we'd encourage people to heed those advisories and move early.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, has defended the decision to reopen the college on Monday, September 7th, following Tropical Storm Erika. In an interview with GIS News on Wednesday, the DSC president says it was an informed decision.
Our staff did a demographic analysis with our SIS system and figured out how many students were affected. Lyme gave us some time, so we contacted 898 students, almost half the student population that was in affected areas. Bottom line, only 32 of our students were really impacted and needed help. So based on those figures, we decided to open the college. Everything was ready for students and was still ready. So, and then we contacted our students. So we did everything very scientifically and with sensitivity to students. And then we made a very informed decision, and we stand by the decision.
GIS will bring you more on that interview in a subsequent newscast. The U.S. government continues to play its part in Dominica's recovery efforts. GIS News spoke with Deputy Chief of the Military Liaison Office for the Eastern Caribbean, Lieutenant Colonel Jorge Jaramillo of the U.S. Air Force on Tuesday. He says one of the areas of assistance is repairs to the Coast Guard base.
Currently, we've come with two teams. Both of them, which are Coast Guard teams. One of them comes from the Coast Guard itself, and they're considered U.S. Coast Guard damage assessment team, all for the purpose of bringing up the Coast Guard, the Dominica Coast Guard station back to back up to speed in regards to any issues it might have had due to the Hurricane Erika. So part of the intent there is we're doing an infrastructure assessment that's being done as we speak, and another assessment. The second assessment is being done through the technical assistance field team. And the team of 4 that have come out, they are looking at the logistics, the maintenance, and the boats, just to make sure that they're all worthy and up to complete standards in regards to being able to protect the people of Dominica and intercept if they have to. So that's what we're currently working on.
Lieutenant Colonel Jaramillo has also been working with the Office of Disaster Management to determine ways in which the U.S. could provide further assistance.
We have some funds that we're able to use right away through a humanitarian assistance program, which is managed through United States Southern Command. And in that regard, we've brought some items that were unable to be purchased here in Dominica from Barbados. So we've got an airplane this morning. We brought a lot of shovels, picks, gloves, boots, eye protection, you name it. We brought a bunch of it, and we're bringing more tomorrow, which is finishing our mission for what we're here. What we've done in the past, identify also is immediately the office that's responsible for any disaster response in that regard is USAID. And they've been here from the very beginning. As soon as it occurred, they were able to get to Dominica and provide assistance. They've been working with the Red Cross, and they're still here providing that assistance. And in the future, to wrap that piece up, again, USAID continues to help, and from perspective of Southcom as well, which is who I represent as well as the ambassador to the region. is, again, the Humanitarian Assistance Program. We do have projects in the future that consist of actually building another emergency operations center on the island of Dominica, which is, again, something that we continue to do for Dominica in regards to emergency management.
The Environment Health Department has been working with the National Pest and Termite Company to manage the further breeding of mosquitoes across the island. Head of the department, Anthony Scotland, told GIS News on Tuesday that efforts are being made to treat all stagnant water.
Around that time, it's like about, 20 days after the event, or we are seeing that the mosquito population might be on the rise if we are not maintaining and protecting the water that we store at home. Remember, the Aedes aegypti mosquito loves to breed in stagnant, not stagnant water, but water that is stored and standing still. And the water containers that we are using right now, like your water drums, that's the ideal house for Aedes aegypti mosquito. So again, we are calling on residents to make sure that the water is stored and covered properly to prevent mosquito breeding.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, voile pour basse avion Douglas Charles, car oui, commencé semaine cela. Parole cela sorti au Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt a scared business te suspend si le mauvais coultant Erika mois passé. Premier ministre scared fait parole qui officiel liat te un pays là pour mettre mise en place bagay kon internet et ordinateur pour faciliter business en place. Il dit officiel liat fait parole qui depuis ces mise ça là ka marché, voile qui actuellement oui commencé. Premier ministre scared des informations ça là sorti hot liat bagay peut changer. Mais le gouvernement Dominique a gardé le vent pour bagaille marcher. En autre nouvelle, Dominique a continué à recevoir assistance de l'autre pays si le mauvais courtant Erika. Le gouvernement St. Vincent et Grenadines pour répliquer 4000 morceaux de fer qui ont servi pour rebâtir pont qui dommagé à ce West Coast et puis East à pays là, hors de mauvais courtant Erika. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skirt fait parole que le gouvernement Dominique tapé mauvais blast. Conseil bien plaisir ces morceaux fait salam, rivé à Dominique pour vivre mettre pays à deux bottes. Gouvernement Venezuela aussi a fait case Petrocasa available pour moun qui perdit case à yo. Et puis finalement, une délégation du officier Massive Foundation au Trinidad qui a travaillé à assister moun âgé et puis situation 3K, un pays qui a assisté moun qui affecté par courtant Erika, âgé et puis situation comme ça. Chef délégation la Wendell de Leon fait parole qui a visité plusieurs occasions qu'a assisté moun. De Leon fait parole qui pièce moun papier chaper hors de situation 3 cas comme ça et bien nécessaire assister moun deal et puis réalité situation ça là. De Leon aussi fait parole que situation comme ça ni bagay bien négative à la vie à moun raison pour intervention à yo. Psychiatriste Dr. Griffin Benjamin déjà fait parole comme le département là bien plaisir pour délégation là parce yo savent bagay négative situation comme ça affecte la vie moun. Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day. Experiencing Tropical Storm Erika was a traumatic event for many. Here is one tip that will help get you out of a state of shock. Take action and make a difference, even in the smallest ways. Taking action restores a sense of control and directly counteracts the sense of powerlessness that is the identifying mark of trauma. Some of the things you can do include write a letter to the rescue workers, make a card for those who lost loved ones, or you can help a person who is out of control to get more grounded during the crisis. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kimani Seja. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.